A conversation is underway in Ann Arbor to try and change how law enforcement operates. Members of a new coalition there believe citizens would be better served if there was an unarmed, non-police response to some incidents.
But others say doing so is complicated because even police don't know when a situation is going to flip to something life-threatening in the blink of an eye.
Communities across the country have been looking at alternative crime-fighting measures. President Biden, earlier this month, cites federal money on mental health crisis response, as well as substance abuse and violence protection programs.
7 Action News reporter Kimberly Craig taking an in-depth look at what the alternative is being proposed in Ann Arbor.
This coalition was sparked by the City of Ann Arbor's desire to try something different, another way, an unarmed way to handle parts of public safety.
When a gun is present, there's always the capacity for it to escalate to violence.
University of Michigan public health professor Dr. William Lopez is one of the founding members of CROWS, the Coalition for Re-envisioning Our Safety, a group of citizens who want to provide a different way of helping others that does not involve armed police.
The goal is for everyone to have someone that they can call for help. We know currently that there are a lot of folks who are uncomfortable calling 911.
And that program might look like a 24-hour call center that will feed into the existing systems within Washtenaw County. So if you call Metro 911 in Washtenaw County, they can transfer a call to unarmed response so that we can pick that up.
I think there are lots of people in Ann Arbor who've never had interactions with police, and there are some people who've had some negative interactions with police.
And the City of Ann Arbor is looking into ways they might be able to fund organizations that provide an unarmed response to some situations. Lisa Jackson is on the city's Independent Community Police Oversight Commission.
I know that there's lots of people who may or may not respond as police expect, and so there are cases where an unarmed response might be really helpful. Public urination. Do you need an armed person to respond to that? When you have a person who's unhoused sleeping in a doorway, do you need to have a police presence for that? Do you need an armed person to respond to that?
Ann Arbor Police Chief Michael Cox.
Whether it's this coalition or anybody else, I'm always going to be for anybody who's trying to positively impact the community in some way.
I've always said I think there's a place for alternative responders, but we need to be really thoughtful and deliberate in terms of how we figure out what that place is.
Community activist and founder of Survivors Speak, Trisha Duckworth.
I just think that it's best if we make sure that we're always checking in with those who are impacted most. Those would be those that are struggling, through mental illness.
Next month, Washtenaw County Sheriff Jerry Clayton says deputies will begin to partner on some shifts with mental health specialists.
When we do experiments like this, we're trying to do it from as much risk mitigation as possible. So if we don't think everything out, if we go with this bias, this automatic bias that this group is not equipped to do it or that group is not best equipped to do it, I think we put ourselves in a position where there might be some challenging outcomes.
CROWS coalition members envision a plan that could start in Ann Arbor and expand into Washtenaw County as they work on obtaining funding.
We are only seeking funding that aligns with our values and making sure that that funding doesn't come with strings that prevent us from reaching the kind of community goals that our community members have told us are important.
And we have for so long allowed just one segment of our community to define what public safety looks like.
And one way to reduce this violence from happening is simply to reduce the opportunities where it possibly can happen, right? And how do we do that? We simply reduce the number of interactions police have in these situations.
In Ann Arbor, Kimberly Craig, 7 Action News.